for 3 minutes here. Just give a couple more folks time to get joined in. As always, we appreciate everyone that is here on time. So thank you to everybody. And I will get us kicked off here in just about 2 minutes. All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Ryan Seymour here, ConnectSecure, Director of Consulting and Education. Going to host a partner call today, already in May 8th. So welcome, everyone. I'm going to share some product updates. Just got a few today, and then I'm going to just share some general updates from our education support side, and just talk to the partners about what we got going on here as we head into May here. So focusing in on, of course, the V4 release. We've added the global standard reports view. So if you're at the global level, you can navigate to the reports section and then into the standard reports option. And you guys will find global reports published there. Now, we've started with just a handful. Of course, we will be adding more in the coming weeks over time. So the ones that are in here for now is not the final set, of course. We will continue to adjust and publish those reports as we get feedback and release additional reports. But you should start seeing evidence of those global reports being published out there. Right. We have added the report customization. So now the standard reports that we have released, you're able to go in and do the editing on them, similar to what you've done in the V3 product if you were using that. So anything in Word document or PowerPoint templates can now be edited. You're going to basically go into your global reports and into that report customization menu. From here, you'll see all the listed standard reports. On the screen, you'll have either the light gray check circle indicating that you're just using our default template. So anything in gray is just a default behavior. That means you just use our standard. If you have a green dot lit up, That's indicating that you have uploaded your own custom report template and the system is using that template. You can download that template using the little download arrow. That'll let you download your customized template if you want to make additional adjustments to it. And then, of course, off to the right, you'll have your 3-dot action menus where you can download those templates. So the download default, that's just our out-of-the-box one. If you want to download that and look at it and make edits to it, of course, you'll have the option to upload that template or reset that template. So if you make some edits to it and upload it and decide that you don't like it, or maybe you broke something, because we do that too when we test, you can come back and go to reset and you can take it back to the out of the box state. So don't be afraid to make edits because you can always undo those edits pretty easily there. The other thing that I want to make sure I point out, I actually have a slide for it here, but this is just a sample screenshot of what editing a Word doc looks like. So if you end up going back here and downloading this Word doc template in this example, this is what you would see come up, right? And so to edit one of our reports, you will see a Word document. And to edit, you simply are going to edit in Word. So on this particular example on the page, if you wanted to edit the text here, again, you just highlight it and you use the toolbar option to make edits. You can change text font size, color. You can, of course, change any of the words that you see here, the tokens you can add or remove. And then, of course, the images, like that background there. If you don't like that background, maybe you want to brand that with something that matches your company or maybe what your quotes look like. You can use your cover pages accordingly to that as well. So full edits on those docs. And then this would be the body of those reports, right? So what's inside the report itself, removing tables, removing rows, removing columns, maybe changing color and font and size and what we call things. This again gives you that control if you don't like what you see on our standard reports as far as the branding and the way things are being rendered. Okay, so those are editing those report templates. And this would be, if you're using the PowerPoint, some of the partners use the PowerPoints. In some cases, I like the PowerPoint because it's more of a presentation instead of just a standard old report. You can edit our PowerPoint templates, same concept. You download the template, you go to edit it. You're in PowerPoint. Oops, sorry about that. And you simply can change the styling. So if you didn't like, we're using our green color teal there, you want to use your branding, you can change it. If you want different graphics, different logos, you have the option to edit in PowerPoint, of course. There is a centralized area for your report branding to manage it in the UI. So if you guys go into the standard reports section and you hit the settings area, you will find report settings for branding options. You'll also want to make sure you visit the global settings menu, and maybe a couple of my support colleagues that are on with us can drop these links in the docs to the docs for you guys. But the global settings custom cover page is where you're going to be able to do this on a per customer basis and give branding options to your customer. If you do use one of our edits and you upload a custom report template, you will find that when you go to our standard report list, you will find a gold frame around the report format. So in this example, PowerPoint and Word are using a custom template, and you can see there's a little legend. It's kind of hiding on the screen on you, but that's what that gold frame is indicating. So if your company's best practice is always send customized report templates out, never standard ones, then that's how if you don't see a gold frame, then you shouldn't be printing the report. It's a nice visual on the screen, especially because there's so many different reports and so many formats, and some of them kind of sound like the same. So the gold frame, I think, is a really nice touch and a way for you guys to keep track of that. Sorry about that. All right, so that's the customizing of reports using the templates, how to upload them, how to reset them. We do have docs for all those. And if anything's missing, definitely happy to add it. I will upload a video dedicated on report customization for V4. That will be published to our YouTube channel very soon. Moving into vulnerability data. In the various areas where you'll find vulnerabilities, which is problems, right? Anywhere you see the word problems in the UI, or under the actual category called vulnerabilities, which you're seeing up top here. We have added a new problem group called all vulnerabilities. Before, you guys were used to seeing that default to critical vulnerabilities. And in that dropdown, you would have a list of the criticals, the highs, the mediums, the lows, right? The severity of your CVEs. And then we also gave you options for EPSS ranges in that dropdown. You'll also find informational, SSL and TLS, and some of the other categories that we are trying to group vulnerabilities into, as opposed to just dumping a giant list of CVEs to you and saying, here they are. So all vulnerability section been added under our problems area. That's globally and at the company level. So whether you're at the company view or the global view, you'll have that all vulnerabilities problem dropdown. You also see it in the assets view. We have optimized these screens as well. So we took some heavy feedback and we had some issues with the problems and solution screens when they were carrying a lot of records loading consistently. Sometimes they would be very quick, sometimes they would take several seconds, and sometimes they wouldn't load at all. We saw a little bit of everything, of course. Shiva and his team heard a lot of that feedback from us. Um, we feel that pain when you guys are. I just want to make sure that I'm saying that because I know personally every day myself and my team are heads down in these problems with you guys. And, the team has done a great job, I think, re-optimizing the problems and solution screens. The loads, are working much more consistently. And I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the partners that were having some trouble with this. So the way that the screens are being loaded for problems, and when there's lots of records loading, we should see much better optimization there. And that will be also in the solution screen, which we're staring at in my example here, right under our remediation plan. Columns, again, are also the default view of these columns, I believe, have been optimized when we first load these screens. They're a lot more palatable. I'm finding myself making less and less adjustments on the screen as we get feedback from the partners on what should these screens be have on them. Again, they're not perfect. Nothing is, but we're listening and we're making those adjustments, and I'm noticing a difference. So solutions views optimized, problem views optimized, and again, that's going to be globally and at the company levels, especially when you're working across these different filter groups. So you've got your problem groups, you've got the count of companies this is affecting, and you've got the number of assets this is affecting. And I really like these views. I'm starting to really enjoy this because, as an MSP, as a partner out here, you guys are using this view, this is a great way to look across a global view of what high severity vulnerabilities are we carrying? What risk do we carry for all of our customers across our entire portfolio of customers, right? And we can kind of quickly now see those groups and not only say, okay, we've got about 1,900 of those things floating around, but they're affecting 13 of our customers that account for 99 assets. So again, I really like how we're really bringing some of this data in the groupings. It's becoming a lot more powerful to view and find data this way. So really great feedback from the partners and adjustments from the dev team. Integrations, kind of switching gears here. We have added the Jamf Pro integration under the global integrations. You'll find this. It'll be under the RMM category. And if you're not familiar with Jamf Pro, uh, one of the probably industry standards for MDM, specifically around Mac and Apple devices. It's obviously got a breadth of other uh, features that it supports, but if you're using Jamf, uh, we're looking to again continue to dig deeper into other operating systems that are not just Windows. So this is for the Apple and Mac managers. If you're using Jamf, you can integrate with it. We'll basically tie in to your Jamf system. We've got an area where we'll automatically map your companies between our system and your Jamf dashboard, and we'll actually create your scripts for you. So you'll have your deployment scripts created in Jamf so that you can deploy our agent through your Jamf portal to your devices, to your Mac devices, right? You guys can do those via policy. You can do the manually push. There's a whole bunch of different options to deploy this. This document will be published by end of week. We've got the details kind of framed in, just putting some last touches on it, but this should be live by end of this week with the next round of updates. So this will be coming real soon. And then we have added in the average of max and max scoring at the company metrics view. So if you're looking at a customer, you'll have to be at the company level, and then you're going to go up to the overview and you're going to hit the metrics screen. And this is going to give you the scoring around the average and full max scores. Before, that tile was just a single number showing the average risk score. So we've expanded that a touch. We've also spent some time redefining and really documenting how these things are being scored. We get a lot of questions during onboarding, during support, and during our regular engagements when we talk to the partners. And one thing that I've heard a lot is, we need better documentation around how we've scored these things. So we've published a new document for V4 that really talks about the definitions of words that we use and the grading scales and the point systems that you see throughout the CUI. We're trying to really bring clarity to that. If we could get one of our support colleagues that's on the call today to grab the ConnectSecure scoring standards KB and drop it in the link for those of you that are on the call. This document is meant to serve as a legend to understand what some of the grading and risk scoring is that you'll see throughout the system. If there's things that are not there or not clear, you just have to let us know. Email to the support team. Any documentation updates that are needed are going to come right through and get assigned to myself or one of the senior consultants here, and we will get that stuff updated. We've got time dedicated to the partners for this stuff. So I want to make sure we're getting the feedback from you guys if things are not there that need to be there. So a lot of you have already interacted with me personally and sent me a lot of information. So thank you for those that have given me the feedback and have sat in through some of those painful calls. We're here doing it with you still. So, and then these are a couple options that were discussed and released under QA. Again, some of these updates should be live in some of your systems, and some of these will be coming in the next release cycle. In case any of you guys missed it, the ability to unsuppress was pushed, which you'll find at the company level in the suppressed records screen. So if you've suppressed any vulnerabilities, you can go to the suppressed records where your audit log is of all those suppressions, and you can then unsuppress those vulnerabilities from there. You can do them one at a time, or you can, of course, multi-select global options and unsuppress. So you have the option to do, one or as many as that is needed. Another area that we've enhanced and added is in the vulnerabilities area. We have created a new category based on some feedback from some partners. So thank you guys. And we are pushing a new category called OS vulnerabilities. And so these are going to separate registry, application, and network stuff and external, and drive us into just vulnerabilities that are affecting operating systems. So we're referring to, on the screenshot here, we've got a little tasting size of a little bit of each, right? We've got some Windows 10 assets, some Windows 11, a Windows Server, referring to patches, right? A couple Meraki devices, a Mac device, and a Linux device. So OS vulnerabilities being added and broken out, again, just to start to create more clarity around what are vulnerabilities and what are they affecting. So another category. We have also added a new download option on the traditional asset view here. So if you're looking at the assets view and not the table view, but this view, you can now either select all, or you can pick off the assets and tap the or download data button on that toolbar, and it'll basically bring that data out so you can export your assets off that screen. This does exist already in the table view. So if you were to toggle that and go to your table view, you'll also have that export in the top right corner. That'll give you that similar asset data if you need to pull anything off that screen. We've got new event sets added for Azure Active Directory. So if you're using Azure AD integration, either as CSP or non-CSP, when you go into that integration tile, under the event sets for the various integration options, you'll now find a new category, accordion style menu. You can tap on that blue bar and you'll see those new Azure AD audit options show up there with the groupings. And those have also been added into the alerts menu. I'll call this our timeline style menu, where you can see any Azure AD or Azure-based events that are happening on those menus as well. So if you're using those integrations, you'll find that data showing up in those events. Okay. Those events alerts, by the way, are available globally and at the company level, which is a nice way to see what's going on at a particular customer or what's going on across the entire system, kind of from a 30,000 foot overview. So the alerts menu, that's up on your toolbar in the top right corner. It'll say alerts. Right? And those are going to be our product updates for this coming cycle. I'm going to turn my attention to some of the chat. I know some of it hopefully has been already addressed, but I'm going to turn my attention there and see if there's anything that I can get to. So looking back, and I'm going to kind of go back to the beginning, just FYI, and start from first in, first out FIFO for those of you that practice that. Looks like we got a couple partners saying hi, good morning to us. Thanks, guys. Hey, Tim. Tim, I'm going to start here. Michael, yeah, we kind of covered the branding on the reports. Tyler asked, when will the May release notes be updated in Atlassian? We are actively getting those in, Tyler, so those should not be long. We'll get those in ASAP. I just want to also remind you guys, in app, if you're in ConnectSecure in V4, in the top right corner of the screen, your avatar, your sign-in kind of profile there. If you tap that, there is a release notes button. And there you'll also find the release notes being published in the timeline. I find that a little easier to consume than going out to Atlassian. Obviously, I do, I enjoy my Confluence, but I spend a lot of time there writing docs. So anytime I can get information in app, I appreciate it. So just for those of you that may have not seen that, it is up there. Is there a list of merge tags and definitions? Tim Golden, compliance scorecard. Hey, Tim, how you doing, sir? I don't know if we have a list of those. If we don't, Tim, you just gave me another doc to write. So one of my colleagues here will write that down for a request. We will get that doc published as a KB, Tim, and I will send you the link, sir. Dennis, when will it be possible to create and save Excel templates? I know that is more complicated. So Dennis, I suspect that's in lens of the report customizations. I know we did Word and PowerPoint. You're asking about Excel. I don't have that answer. If one of my colleagues here is on that could maybe give an answer. If not, Dennis, we can circle back with that info. I suspect we are going to release that though, since we did in the last version. Sherry dropped in our cover page doc. Thank you. That cover page doc. Appreciate it. Azure AD. So Dennis's question on Azure AD notifications for critical security events. We are not expecting a replacement for tools like SaaS alerts or Augment, but some of our clients do not have those. Some basic notifications were provided in V3. So Dennis, if you can, share some specifics around those, basic Azure AD alerts that you'd be interested in, can of course get that in front of the team and get it reviewed. So Dennis, send that stuff through. You're no stranger to us, so we'll look out for that. Amir, what about RTL and reports, right to left language? Amir, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that. Are you able to elaborate on that question at all for us? Not, send me a private message if you're still with us, Amir. Otherwise,
Yes, yes, I am with you. Thank you for relating to the question. Right to left language in reports. We use Hebrew, and that is a language that is written from right to left. And when we want to provide reports to clients, that should be in appropriate direction. Is there an option to design the report with a right to left language direction?
Gotcha. Thank you for clarifying. So we're referring to localization options, right, for language. I'll have to check. I don't know that, Amir. I'm not sure. We obviously have a lot of international partners that we work with. So team that's with us, let's record Amir's question on RTL and reports and let's get back with him. Amir, we will follow up with you on that.
Thank you very much.
I can also chime in here, Ryan. This is Sri. So Amir, maybe I'll connect with you separately and see whether we can take your help in the translation. In terms of the underlying technology, we do support it because it's all Unicode. So, all this should be covered there. But like I said, on the actual help regarding translation, maybe we'll connect with you one-on-one and see how we can help you there. But thank you. Go on.
Sure.
Go on. Thanks. Go ahead, Ryan.
Thank you, Shrikant. Appreciate that. We'll still follow up with Amir on that, but good to know we're in Unicode, so the underlying technology is there. So we'll look at that, right? Gary asked about, would we consider moving documentation from Atlassian to Gitbook? The mix of docs can be confusing. Understood. We get a lot of requests to move our docs. I don't know that it would make sense for us right at this moment. I don't know that anything's ever out of the book for ConnectSecure. We're very open-minded to change. As you guys all know, we make changes quickly here, but probably not ready to really make a public announcement on that. So Gary, more to come. I am familiar with Gitbook though. I have seen it. I do like that. There's some really nice features there. I think all the documentation systems have their sharp edges and bad pitfalls, but always open to those things. So more to consider there. Is the plan to decommission V3 still on track for June? So I see some replies going on here. Peter, our CEO, is commenting on there. Thanks, Pete, for jumping in. So it's basically Pete saying we'll expand that out as needed. June is definitely the goal. We know we have a lot of partners still on V3. All the partners that are here on the call with us, we love and appreciate everyone that joins these calls, whether you're new to the call today or you've been on these calls with us for a long time. I'm certain a lot of the folks that are here are probably on V4 or using it or have seen it, maybe dip their toes in. If not, you know, we definitely want you guys to be in V4, of course, so we can continue to get that good feedback. But we understand there were some parity issues that were preventing it, and just some other challenges that came with this change. So we're going to continue to support you guys. Obviously, Pete said if we need to push it, we will. We want to make sure that you guys are, you know, comfortable and everyone's in V4 and happy. So ultimately, that's where we're headed, though. So if you're not there, you know, rip the Band-Aid off and pull steam ahead, in my opinion. Yes, report customization, shout out dev team. Thank you guys. I know that a lot was asking. API changes, also updates. Yeah, something that I didn't have in the slide deck was part of that optimization I spoke of also included API optimization. So we didn't have a slide deck for that, but we definitely did some optimization there. Shout out to Lewis at Hawks for helping us with some of that. And I'm certain Shiva and his team have a bunch of other partners that I'm not going to name drop, but you know who you are. Thank you guys. Dennis, at the company level, putting a link to the relevant patch on the solution screen. Yes, noted. Swami's got that. Swami, thank you for grabbing that. Dennis, great idea. I know that we've asked for that, so I'm sure that's going to come. Todd, we are cloud hosted. Yeah, migrate to V4. Shows yeah, Todd. Yep, great. Todd, I see you dropped a ticket. We'll get you taken care of and help you with the migration path. We do, if you haven't been in V4 yet for some reason and you're on this call today with us, I'm sorry if you already have. We have group led onboardings that we do each week. I run 2 or 3 of them a week myself. I've got another colleague who does them, and we just walk you guys through the basic fundamentals of getting deployed with V4. So if you haven't seen those and you want to see those, jump on one of those calls. If you have new employees starting at your companies and you want them to get exposure to some training and you don't want to do it, send them to those calls. We will help, you know, train and educate how to use the tool, how to leverage it. Again, it's meant to be onboarding 101 style. I will create some 201 and 301 level curriculum as we move upstream this year, once we kind of stabilize. So just throwing that out for everyone who maybe not know that we're doing those.
Is that scheduled regularly?
Scheduled regularly. We have them 3 or 4 days a week. If you go out to connectsecure.com/onboarding, on that page, you will see all the dates and times published. You just got to basically sign up and join the call, and I'll see you there.
Yep, and I dropped that link in the chat there at the bottom there. I see Sherry did as well. So if you follow that link and sign up, you'll get added to that meeting.
Yep. Chris, just acknowledging Chris Sears' feedback on the timeline. Hear the message, understand you need time. Chris, I would also encourage you, Chris with a K that is, I would encourage you to get in touch with our team for onboarding training, you know, whether that's a group style or, you know, if you need a one-on-one, we'll schedule it. Let us know what you need. You know, we're here to help you guys. We have support, but we also do the consulting and the implementation help too. So whatever you guys need to get transitioned and get your teams prepared and get your customers prepared, you know, that's what we want to do for you guys. We want to help transition you. So I'm going through my chat. Steve, I see a DM from you, sir. I will respond to you offline. Thank you for the direct message. I'm just acknowledging you. I will get to you offline. I'm not skipping you over.
That was the plan.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Looks like, okay, V4 self-hosted, just a couple back and forth. Are any updates should be pushed out now? Yes, the Dennis updates that we showed today should be getting pushed, I suspect, on this weekend. Maybe Swami or Shri, could you guys confirm that? Would those be for this weekend's push?
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, okay. That's generally how we do things. If we show you guys something on a call on a Wednesday, that coming weekend is generally when our colleagues in the India office will be pushing out to our infrastructure. So you guys should see those updates as you come in to business next week. So Craig asked if ConnectSecure is still in beat or not. I suspect he meant beta. I would say no, we're not in beta anymore. Doesn't feel like it. I know that there was a very painful and long beta process, if you can call it that. We learned some things, but I don't feel like we're in beta. It feels like we're in production working on the last mile of parity. So not clear in documentation where to find the private key required for Linux credentials. If I have a private key of, and put it in there. Great. Yes. Chris, we will get that updated. One of my colleague, Gagnon, will grab that request. There's a screenshot. We'll get that addressed for you. Ryan Fish says he hasn't joined in a few weeks. What's the progress on patching? Patching is live. Patching is working. Patching is available for third party and for operating system. You can run it manually. You can use the scheduler to automatically apply patch policies. So that feature is live. It's out there. If you need more info, let us know. We can help you out with it. Steve says in the application baseline results, there is not indication that you were in that section. Goes with the breadcrumbs issue. If you click on the affected asset, you should be able to return the previous screen. I agree. Also, it would be nice to get an asset and see the differences by S as we can fix it. Agreed, Steve. Team, let's take Steve Polak's feedback about application baseline rules and breadcrumbs, and let's clarify that, because the breadcrumbs should work on every screen, right? That should just be a thing. That should just work. So let's make sure we got that. Colleagues waving me down. We've got that for you, Steve. So we'll get that into the team. The V3
can also tell you that the V3 rules that came over from V3 don't apparently work.
Yes,
so
the replication of the rules.
Yeah,
I noticed some of them did and did not work and as well. Again, just to play it safe on it, and again, I'm just being candid, guys, here. I would remove and replace the rules. We're happy to help you do that if you need our assistance, but I have noticed on a few of the replications that some of the rules work, some didn't, and it feels like it takes more effort and energy from all of us to figure out why, as opposed to just undo and redo them. But of course, if there's a programmatic problem, we want to address that too. I don't ever want to just sweep stuff under the rug, so I want to make sure I'm saying that out loud for anyone that might be thinking. But great, Steve, appreciate the feedback as always, sir. V3 updates and Azure Active Directory are part of this release. I'm hoping for some expansion in the future, for example, and possibly malicious. Yeah, so Dennis, any of those additional event set triggers that we might be able to include, let us know. We're happy to try to work those things in the best we always can, as always. JC, thank you. Good job, Brian. Pete dropped the onboarding link in there, so that's out there. Kevin Fraley. Hey, Kevin, how's it going? I know Kevin has given us a lot of feedback, him and his team. So I see we're talking about the CSF compliance assessments. We'll get those added by end of month. So it looks like we already all know. Thank you, Kev. So Brian Mickelson, we are still heavily using V3, mostly because about half of our devices never came over. Should we initiate a resync? Yes, we want to get that taken care of. Definitely. Swami looks like Swami is our lead of engineering here at ConnectSecure. So thank you, Swami. He can definitely get that worked out, Brian. And anybody else that's having those problems, let us know. Don't suffer in silence, we say, right? Is Roost integration working on V4? Enrique, hey Enrique. We don't have Roost on our side as an integration like Tile published, but I can definitely confirm that Roost, I have quite a few other partners that are leveraging Roost for integration. So you should definitely be able to leverage Roost's side in the APIs to do some level of integration. Sean, is control map integration working in V4? I know that there was, I don't have all the details, Sean, of that. I may have to follow up with you. I do know we did some work with Control Map for an integration. I don't have the details, so I don't want to misspeak on those. Team, let's just create something for Cowell on Control Map integration follow-up and confirm where we're at with that. Sean will follow up there, sir. Dennis, patching is replaying the queue application patches for offline assets. That's a great thought. Again, that's something we could certainly sneak in as feedback to the team. Queuing up offline patching, not a bad idea. And I know by default, if machines will queue up for 24 hours. Now, beyond that, I don't know if we could have some options, but that's a great thought, Dennis. Let's make sure our team grabs that. Wonderful. Swami is talking code, and that's above my head. So Chris Gagnon and Swami, looks like you guys are handling some Linux stuff there. I'm gonna leave that alone. Steve, yeah, I'll make sure that we get in touch on the agent stuff. Enrique, yes, with V4. The Bruce stuff, yes, with V4. Rafa, CIS mapping spreadsheet. Yes, I'm glad you asked because I wouldn't have talked about it. I have the spreadsheet published in our docs. It's not complete, as in I'm still polishing off some of the updates on it. My commitment to you guys will be end of week. That doc will be finalized. But it is in Confluence now. So if you go to our documentation and scroll down to near the left on the left bottom of that tree, you will see the ConnectSecure CIS control mappings. And what we're doing is we're showing you what kind of coverage we have over the 18 control groups and all the subcontrols. And we're providing the details and evidence on what we partially or fully cover from a coverage standpoint. And again, we don't cover everything, of course. The ones we do cover, we're illuminating there with some detail for you guys. So I will have that doc finalized by Friday. If you want to look at the work in progress of it, it is out there right now. Maybe we can get someone to drop the link for that. Michael's reply was overlooked above. So on the customer report, go stage and customize report names. So yeah, Michael, to do that's referring to the text on the page, right? The tokens that appear on the page, but you can definitely customize that background and any other aspect and then upload the template on that page. And again, if you're having trouble, get in touch. We'll help you out directly. No problem. Tyler, it looks like we've got the release notes published. Swami just confirmed. Thank you, Swami. Dave, if using scheduled patch management, is there any notification capabilities of patching fails? No, we do not have that feature today. I'd be a little weary of turning that on. I could see that creating a lot of noise. But no, unfortunately, it's not there. If it's something you'd want, you'd have to submit it in, just send it in as a feature, and our team can add it into the list. Can't guarantee it'll be added, but again, we're open to hearing everyone's ideas, and when it makes sense, we add these things, right? Yeah. So Dennis mentioned some of the replication issues. So yeah, Rafa confirmed he found our CIS mapping. No problem. Sherry dropped the link to it as well. Thank you. Simon, if you don't have something in with us for remote agent install, let's open something and track that down. Definitely should be working over SMB. If you're dealing with Windows machines, if you're dealing with Macs or Linux, it'll be SSH, of course. Yes, Dennis agreed. Queuing the packages might also help. Agreed, as we start to make the final push of getting partners out of V3 to V4. I'm sure Swami's taken some of this feedback, so thank you guys for continuing to provide it. It's to Robert. Yes, there is an onboarding document as well, as if you don't want to go onto the call and you don't want to do videos or whatever, you don't want to talk to us, you can totally use the doc. We do have a doc. Sherry published that link to the onboarding guide. there will be a new onboarding guide that I have remastered because I'm always writing documentation because we're always, updating stuff. So I am actually going to release a new onboarding guide. I would propose it'll be done by the end of this week. That same link you're using will work though, so don't worry about the links. The links will just be updated. But yes, we do have an onboarding guide that will walk you through what we do during an onboarding call. Okay. Dennis mentioned remote is working. Awesome. Yes. Thanks for the feedback, Dennis. I was going to say, I have seen some other partners using that feature and I know it's been working. So let's log a ticket. Simon, if you could send us a ticket and of course a log from the machine, it would tremendously help our team out. If not, we'll probably ask for it. So logs are always helpful for us when we troubleshoot. JC, could it be possible to push PowerShell commands from the ConnectSecure lightweight agent or probe? We've been seeing a lot of orphan PCs we can't typically locate and need to install our RMM agent on. Maybe, I don't know. Obviously the agents, the ConnectSecure agents already issue PowerShell commands to remote machines. A lot of the stuff we're do is happening under the scenes that way. So I don't know that that's completely not doable. It doesn't exist today. We're not able to like say from an agent, hey, here's issue this command and then send it through PowerShell. That might be a really nice option. I know a lot of partners do have RMM tools that would generally do that kind of stuff or Intune, but I could see how that would be a concern. Dennis stole the words from my mouth. I could see how that would become a concern as well. Just carte blanche being able to run PowerShell commands. I mean, it's bad enough as it is sometimes with EDR and XDR policies that we're dealing with and, huntresses of the world finding us. So maybe not, but it sounds like others are agreeing that that might be a problem. So I would always recommend using your RMM. But if there's other things, if there's other areas, JC, lean on your vendors, lean on your partners. And I'm sure we've got a lot of smart people here who probably have better ways to do that rather than through the agent. So yes, resetting probe. Thanks, Dennis. I think I got to the end of the list. I hope that I got to everyone. If I didn't, I did not skip you over purposely. As always, support at connectsecure.com. We'll get
Real
you in
quick,
touch
please.
with the team. Yeah, Chris, please.
Can we please address the on-prem v4, please?
Yeah, so I know Shiv is not with us, but Swami or Shri, was it May 15? Do I have that date
Yes.
right?
That's correct. 15th May is the timeline that Shiva had mentioned in the last call. So yeah, I think that is the timeline.
I'd say
Confirmed. We're still on track because Peter's saying contradictory information. So I just want to make sure because it's becoming more and more people are asking about it, and I've been asking about it for greater than 4 months now.
Yep. Sounds like that was my mistake there, Chris. So if Sri Swami are saying it's 15th, it'll be
Yeah, it's
15th.
15 for now. There is no change. Chris, we really appreciate hanging in there. We'll, after this call, I will double check. And I'm going to take a note of this and send you a one-to-one message.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys for confirming that. So sounds like no change. And if there is, I'm hoping we can get a communication out to you guys before the 15th, right? That would be the right thing. So again, as always, appreciate everyone joining the call, the feedback, sticking on the journey with us. We're here, we're listening, we're working every day to make the product better. Right now the team is really focused in on stabilization. I think we've heard the feedback from you guys and from the partners over the last few weeks. And so the focus moving forward right now is, making the product very stable. I'd love to stop seeing new features showing up and see more stabilization of the product. And that's my opinion I'm sharing with the group. But we'll continue, to take your guys' feedback and make the fixes we need. But, performance, parity, and stabilization to me are the three most important things right now that we should all be focusing in on. So keep feeding us the feedback, keep helping us drive forward, and we'll keep delivering the product that you guys need to, continue to win business. So appreciate everyone's time, and you guys all have a good rest of the week. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Ryan. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.